Hello all. Taiwan really bothers me. It's one of those topics where I have two very strong opinions that are completely irreconcilable. Really bugs me. But Taiwan is very important, so I should talk about it anyway. Here goes. Taiwan belongs with China. I believe this very strongly. China owned the island of Taiwan solidly and indisputably for 200 years. And unlike a lot of similar situations, like the Germans in Poland or the Russians in the Baltics, there wasn't some subject nation yearning to breathe free on Taiwan. Today's Taiwanese are 97% descended from Chinese folks from the mainland. I also think the Chinese are right to see Taiwan's status as a national insult. They lost control of the place to the Japanese in 1895. Japanese imperialism was pretty horrific, and Taiwan's status is a continued reminder. The Chinese briefly had control of the island after the Japanese got their asses kicked in World War II. Unfortunately, the government that held the island lost a civil war just 4 years later and ran away to Taiwan. In doing this, Kai-shek, that government's leader, was pulling a move that had been tried before in the 1680s. The Manchu dynasty's crushing of the remnants of the Ming dynasty was the reason they took over Taiwan in the first place. Chiang Kai-shek's time in Taiwan would probably have been considerably shorter than the Ming dynasties, but he had something the Ming didn't: the U.S. Navy. Chiang Kai-shek lost, but he wasn't a communist, so he got to keep Taiwan. Hilariously, Taiwan also got to hold China's seat in the UN from 1949 to 1971. Even after normalizing relations with China in the 1970s, the U.S. military-industrial complex kept arming Taiwan. The country is basically a permanent go-to-war free card, which makes it a problem for everybody. So honestly, when the Chinese flip out about Taiwan, I get it. The Japanese stole it from them for 50 years, and then the United States used some bad guys to keep it from them for another 70 years. I'd be pretty angry too. I get it. But the Taiwanese people deserve to be free. If Chiang Kai-shek and his kids were still running Taiwan, I'd have just about zero sympathy for the place. But that's not the case. Throughout the second half of the 20th century, Taiwan climbed the sweatshop ladder to prosperity. These are two of my favorite He-Man figures from my childhood in the early 1980s. If you look at the back of this one here, you can see... Come on, camera. You can see that they were made in Taiwan. The country is far beyond that now. They've got a GDP per capita that's in the top 20 worldwide, and they're home to dozens of world-beating companies. Since the 1990s, Taiwan has also had a vibrant representative democracy going. The complexity of Taiwanese identity isn't something I want to get into, but they've got their own government, and they've built something pretty amazing. The Taiwanese deserve to be free, just like anybody else. Taiwan's 23 million people aren't responsible for the history that got them to where they are. Allowing China to take them over at this moment wouldn't be good for anyone. Taiwan's weird status is the main reason that Hong Kong, a rich and well-governed Chinese province, still has the freedoms that it does. Also, Taiwan and Hong Kong provide valuable models for what I believe to be China's inevitable transition to a better form of government. Snuffing out Taiwan's government at this point would be a terrible tragedy. So what the hell do we do with that? China has a right to Taiwan, but so do the Taiwanese people. As reluctant as I am to agree with Washington, D.C. on anything, I think the current settlement is about as good as it gets. We protect and help Taiwan, and we're also very careful not to offend China when we discuss it. My hope is that this approach will help the two countries sort of evolve together, or evolve closer together. We'll see. It may be tempting to use Taiwan as a political football the way Donald Trump did recently, but that's tremendously unfair to both China and Taiwan. It's also dangerous. In a world full of difficult issues, Taiwan is one of the most complex. Poking at that hornet's nest is something to avoid. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. And if you'd like to help me make more videos like this one, please click on the Patreon link here to find out how. Thanks.